The story of the mother-in-law. For some, the story is disturbing, and for some, the story is magnific, beautiful, caring, loving, nurturing. How's your mother-in-law to you? How is she to your karma? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, hey dudes, hey dudettes. Let's talk about the mother-in-law topic because wow, this is a very difficult topic for many people, and it's something that's been a challenge to quite a lot of people all around the world. It's just a global culture. It's a pandemic. And I know most of the time, many people who face challenges with their mother-in-laws, they are easily told to just accept it. You know, people say, oh, well, this is how things are, you just have to accept it, da 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 da, okay? And you get people who have great relationships with their mother-in-laws, and then you wonder, okay, if the culture is telling us that it is normal to have conflicts with the mother-in-law, how are other people having great relationships? Then you start to wonder, okay, is it because of what really? So, as researchers, we research because we have questions. When you're a researcher, you have a question, you make a hypothesis, you go into your research to find the answers. And for me, I have really understood the human nature, the human relationship with other people or animals or just in general from the perspective of astrology. And I'm very happy I really got into this type of research. Okay, so today we're talking about the mother-in-law topic, and which some psychologists who are trained academically, they still can't figure out how to give a solution to this challenge or issue, okay, of the mother-in-law. Now, in your chart, you're going to look at the D1 chart to describe your mother-in-law in terms of their physical appearance, in terms of how they relate with you physically, like on a physical plane, and how you can identify them or how they respond to you. Now, when it comes to the emotional part, we would use the moon chart, because then the moon chart would tell us how your emotions would merge with this lady. And then regarding the deeper aspects of that relationship, you would go further into the sub components of the birth charts, okay? Meaning that the other D charts. Now, so some people could ask, okay, fine. What if I get married again? Then am I going to use the same method? And the answer is no. Why? Because your chart is made to really describe your whole life. That is your life before this life, your life now, and your life after. That is why the Vedic astrology gives all these different types of charts to really explain to you that in your past incarnation, you were doing this, you were relating to this person, da da da, and now you have these karma to fix, and then in the next life, you're gonna have this and this, okay? So, regarding the mother in law topic that we're on, you're going to have to look at your D1 chart for now, for just for this podcast, for this episode, okay? You look at your D1 chart, your 10th house. This is where you're going to find your mother in law. Why? Okay, because the seventh house is your spouse or your partner, okay? It's their physical appearance. It's how you would know that, okay, that one is my babe, that one is my lover. And now from there, because it's their first house from your chart, then you count 4 spaces away to get to their mother, okay? The same method how you, from your first house, you count 4 spaces to get to your mother. That's the method here. That's the calculation, okay? And then when you get to your 10th house, basically your 10th house normally it's about your public status, it's about your career or profession rather. It's about the deeds that you do to the society, your role in the society, what you do in the society, what are you known for in the society, your obligations to the society. Okay, this is what the 10th house is about. And the 10th house is also, about fame as well, because I mean, it's a public house. Therefore, we also see, part of the fame from this house. But now, in terms of relating to other people, it is also your mother in law. Yes. Okay. Now, okay, fine. We here. We're looking at the 10th house. Okay, what do we see? If your 10th house is in Aries, okay, that means you have a mother in law that's a bit bossy, a mother in law that's dominant, a mother in law that is not afraid to tell you what they think about you and to actually come over to your house and to take control over your house and your spouse's house, because she's the mother in law. So she wants to cook, she wants to wash the dishes, she wants to move the furniture around a bit because that's what she thinks, it's her role, and she just wants to like give you orders to control, and she's not afraid to start fights with you when she feels like you're not you're not doing things the right way, because why? Because the energy of Aries is controlled by Mars, and Mars, is that soldier who will just go for a fight, go for a challenge, go for action right now. Okay, so your mother-in-law would be very daring, very spontaneous as well. Okay, they are passionate, they are pushed by passion. Okay, whatever they do, they are pushed by passion. So if they are gelling with your energy, then it would mean that there's passion between you guys. You go out together, maybe to do stuff together. You have action. You go to the gym together with your mother-in-law. You do stuff. She's very passionate towards you. But it's also true for the negative part. She can be negatively passionate towards you if the energies are not gelling. Okay, so obviously for this episode, we're only focusing just on the energy. We're not talking about the planets that are in this house. We're going to do that on another episode. Okay, because the planets would just change the whole vibe and dilute or add. So for now we're just focusing on the energy. All right, so let's say now your 10th house is in Taurus. Okay, your mother-in-law would be, first of all, very beautiful. Like they would be pleasing to the eye, or like when you look at them, they just like pleasing to the eye, and they dress very nicely, um, and they dress respectfully as well, because that's Taurus energy. Taurus is very fixed and is very down to earth, but they like the beauty and the luxury stuff. Okay, so your mother-in-law, I wouldn't be surprised if they would like buy the best suit, or like a nice long skirt or whatever, and it's good quality, but they still look very like respectful. No, respectable. Respectful or respectful? Anyway, and your mother-in-law would be really central towards you. Like they would be caring, they would be like giving you like flowers, like just making you feel taken care of, but not in a like a mushy way, like the moon. No, it would be just like they would just make you feel good. They give you gifts. And they give you very good gifts as well, like quality gifts. Okay, that is what your mother-in-law would do. But let's say now, if your energy did not gel with this 10th house, let's say uh, hmm, that maybe there was a planet that disturbs this energy, but we're not focusing on that. Then maybe you would have troubles regarding how you take care of the finances, and then but generally this is a Venus energy, and Venus doesn't like problems really. Venus just likes good time, like a peaceful relationship. Okay, but Venus is all about just like making the place warmer and more central. Okay, that's your mother-in-law. And okay, now your 10th house is in Gemini. First of all, your mother-in-law is very changeable. Okay, what, like today, your mother-in-law could be like siding with you on a certain subject, and then you don't know what happens. All of a sudden, they change their mind, and you're like, okay, but we agreed like the last week that we would like do this and this and this, but now you're changing. What happened? you know and that's the first thing. Your mother-in-law is really like not really two-faced, but it appears like that to you. You may think that they just flowing with the wind, which is correct, because this is an airy sign. Is very airy, the Gemini. Okay, the Gemini likes to really go with the flow, depending on what their logic is telling them is right at the time, because they remember this is Mercury, and Mercury is about logic. So Mercury is very adaptable, because this is an intelligent sign. So your mother-in-law is intelligent, and your mother-in-law is easily influenced based on facts, based on logic. So if you explain something to her, that what, can you look after the kids for Saturday and Sunday because I have a business meeting. And then somebody else comes and they give a better reason, then your mother-in-law can change their mind because they're just using logic, they're weighing things logically. Okay, this is a priority, this is not a priority, all right? But to you, you might think, oh my gosh, my mother-in-law is just like two-faced. Yesterday they were agreeing with me, but now they're agreeing with the other daughter-in-law, or da 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 da. No, they're just being logical about stuff. Weighing options. Okay. Your mother-in-law would also be very playful because Mercury is a young energy. Like Mercury doesn't take life so seriously. So your mother-in-law might be very playful at times, and you would like enjoy, their fun side, like when they show their fun side to you. And your mother-in-law is the mother-in-law that would just come in the house, and if there's like a nice music and they could just like vibe to it and they dance a bit, just to make everybody laugh, or so that would be your mother-in-law, very intelligent. So don't think this lady is not intelligent, okay? They're very intelligent, they weigh stuff, and they're very detached emotionally because everything is in the head. They make their decisions in the head mentally. They don't approach things emotionally. Okay, so maybe if you want to bond emotionally, then you're not going to get that from this mother-in-law. Okay, but intellectually they will be there for you. You would gel very well. Okay, and they could also be very friends with you, good friends, because Mercury it represents friendship. Okay, so this is somebody that you could like really gel with in terms of if you're looking for a friend, right? Okay. Your 10th house is in Cancer. Your mother-in-law is very emotional. Aww. Aww. Oh, so mushy, mushy. No, seriously, your mother-in-law is an emotional mother. Okay, everything is taken seriously emotionally. If you speak out of turn with her, she takes that so deep, so emotionally, and she will hold that grudge emotionally for quite a long time. Okay, because that's a crab, that's Cancer. They really like hold on to emotional bruises for a very long time. Okay, you would be thinking, oh well, me and I spoke badly towards my mother-in-law like in 2002, and they still like talking about that, or they still giving me attitude about that. Yeah, for sure, because you know why? You know why? Your 10th house is in Cancer. Hmm? That's why. Okay. Now, your mother-in-law is very moody as well. Shame. Oh, this mother-in-law, very moody, and her mood swings could really disturb you, and they could disturb your relationship, or even with your spouse. Okay, because this mother-in-law is. And did I mention that this mother-in-law is very clingy towards their son or their daughter, like towards your spouse? They very clingy. They don't want to let go. Yeah, no, they don't want to let go. They're emotionally attached to their child who is your spouse. Oh, poor thing. Okay, but they very, very, very caring. When it comes to care, they'll take care of you when their mood is gelling with yours. They'll take care of you. They would like cook for you. They would like share recipes with you, like to make you feel like you're with their mother too. If your energy is really chilling with them, they would like really make you feel like you've got a second mother. You are loved, you are taken care of. When they come over to your house, they clean for you and they do stuff, like they really take care of you, not in an invasive way, like how the Aries mother-in-law would do. Okay, so now let's say your 10th house is in Leo. You know what? You know what? You know what? Your mother-in-law is very, very bold. Okay, your mother-in-law is like a star. Yeah, like when they come into like a family gathering, they like wearing those hats, bright clothes. They want to be the star of the show. Okay, your mother-in-law is not afraid to compete with you. I actually like the Aries mother-in-law as well. They're not afraid to compete with you, to get the attention of your spouse. um, or even to take the attention away from you. So, but because this is a Leo, this is a lion, they're also very sentimental in terms of protecting you. When you gel with them, and your energy is good, everything is good in that 10th house. Really, this mother would protect you. They would like go to the ends of the earth trying to protect you and trying to make you be part of her pride, because she's a lioness. She would make you feel part of her pride. And Leo energy, very assertive as well, very creative, or very creative. Your mother-in-law could be like really into creative things, or maybe they're doing some art, or maybe I don't know, like they're doing some creative thing in their life, okay? And of course, when it comes to um, like attention, they would like you to buy her gifts, like to shower her. She would love you easily if you do that, if you make her the star that she is, and you validate her that she is the star that she thinks she is. You would be loved. Okay, so now your house is in Virgo. Ooh, yeah. Your mother-in-law likes to criticize you, hey? Like when they come over to your house, nothing is right. Your couch is put in the wrong direction. This doesn't go well with whatever. Like they just find these small things that are not good. You're not cooking right. You don't take care of the kids in the correct way. You don't take care of her kid in the correct way. Like she just likes to criticize you, but at the same time, she is not doing this to cause harm towards you. In fact, it's just to make you be better at what you do, to be better at being the spouse to her child, or the mother to her grandchildren. She's not doing it in a bad way. She's just like so logic, because again, this is Mercury is about logic. So she's being very detached, very logical, but at the same time, don't think that she wants to make you feel miserable. It's just how she is. She likes to criticize, but in her mind, she's thinking as for getting the best performance out of everything. All right, never satisfied, that's for sure. Okay, you might also feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough to be with this to be with my lover, because the mother just like is always criticizing me. And now your house is in Libra. Ooh, lucky, 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 lucky you. Because wow, your mother-in-law is really very balanced. Okay, they have this calmness about them, and they're looking beautiful as well. And they just have this aura that makes you feel at ease, because when you speak, they will listen to you. Even if you are in a fight with your spouse and you contact them and you say, my mother-in-law, I don't know what to do, they will listen to you. They will not want to take sides with their own child. They will like try to give a fair judgment and a fair treatment, and sometimes they would even take your side over in terms when you are in the right, if that's correct to speak. That's the correct way to put it. They are not afraid to go with justice. Okay, so regardless of who it is, they will just give a good advice towards justice. Okay, so if you are wrong, they'll be like, you know what, my daughter-in-law, my son-in-law, just do this to fix it. If it's their child, they'll do the same. Okay, very balanced, very pleasing as well. They might even like have a nice voice or a nice presentation about themselves. It's just something very nice, the very sensual, very pleasing, so to speak. Okay, so yeah, you're really lucky if your energy, or there are no planets that are messing this up. And now let's say your house, your 10th house is in Scorpio. If your house is in your 10th house is in Scorpio, it means that your mother-in-law could be a very secretive person. Okay, there are secrets that they would keep away from you, family secrets they would not tell you. And your mother-in-law could also be a bit manipulative. Okay, so if they don't like you, they would literally play the game of manipulation to get you out of her family, out of her environment. Okay, your mother-in-law is not afraid to be vengeful, with you, in terms of if you do something wrong, they would like make sure that you feel it or you regret it. Okay, but the thing is, they are also easy to, like, they easy to anger, but at the same time they can calm down easily, like forgive as well. But it depends, again, it depends on the energy. If they like you, they would just let things go. But if they don't like you, then that's for sure they just not going to let things go. Okay, your mother-in-law with this Scorpio energy is the thing is ruled by Mars. So meaning that a soldier would like just keep going at whatever mission that they're doing. So if they don't like you and they want you out of their family, they will keep going at it. They will do everything, just go at it, at the fight. Okay. But if they like you, then I mean, again, that's another mission to make sure you're happy, to make sure you feel welcomed. That would be their mission, like a soldier. They would make sure they're doing everything right to make sure that you feel at ease, okay? And now, when it comes to um, like, how they treat you, as I said, with this energy, it would depend on really how they view you, or like the energy between you guys, because this is a mother-in-law who's capable to be violent towards you. Okay, like the Aries mother, because of that Mars energy, they could be abusive verbally or psychologically towards you. And this is the mother-in-law that would not be afraid to even poison you. Okay, because this energy is the energy that comes from the eighth house of secrets, of poisons and stuff like this. So they would not be afraid to even poison you. Okay, poison you psychologically, or even like physically, So yeah, very deep, very, like, when you look at your mother-in-law, there's just this heaviness that surrounds them. When you meet them, you just like, you don't know how to approach them. It's like they already have this cover, or this wall, this dark wall that's over them, because it's that over dignity of Mars, because Mars here is really in a heavy place, about that eighth house energy. So it's really heavy. Okay, and your mother-in-law could be very mushy inside, but it's just how they appear. They appear very heavy. Yeah, if you get the description from that word, heavy. Okay. Now, Your 10th house is in Sagittarius. This is a mother in law that could be from another country, okay? There could be something foreign about your mother in law. It's either you are the foreigner or your mother in law and your spouse are of different race, different religion, like there's just some differences in culture, basically, first of all. And our cultural belief or a race or whatever, but there's something different about your mother-in-law that we can easily see from you, okay? And your mother-in-law likes to explore, they could be like, it could go two ways, okay? They could be like really religious, like spiritual, going to church and stuff, or they could be very like people who like to explore the world in terms of traveling or in terms of reading so many books or uh, exploring other cultures. But there's that interest that your mother is doing, like that dedication that your mother-in-law is committed to, okay? Dedication activity. And the thing is with your mother-in-law with this Sagittarius zodiac sign is that she's very intelligent, okay, and her intellect is very evident in how they give you advices, okay. They're very wise and they are open-minded. This is what I love about the Sagittarius mother-in-laws. They're very open-minded, so you could come and speak to them about any topic, about any subject, and they are able to provide you with the wisdom that you need, okay. And because this is ruled by Jupiter, okay, Jupiter is going to, this energy, your mother-in-law is going to want to give you some valuable lessons on how to build your family, which includes her child, all right, and how you take care of your guys house and the children, because again Jupiter loves children, so they would want to have the best relationship with your children too, okay. Your mother-in-law would be jolly, like a happy, yeah, happy mother-in-law. Like they have that free spirit about them. Like when they in your house, they're not really like, what's the word? They're not controlling. They just there to be part of, the household, because this energy of Jupiter is never about control. Okay, Jupiter is never about control. Jupiter is about expansion. Okay, and happiness and optimism and stuff like that. And spirituality. So now your house, your 10th house is in Capricorn. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Your mother-in-law is very detached. You find your mother-in-law very detached. You find them very busy as well. Yeah, they could be like really busy, maybe with their job or whatever, but they are busy. And when you talk to them, it's like you feel like you have to make an appointment to get time to speak with them, and things are like a bit formal. You have that sense that, like, you have to be formal when you speak to your mother-in-law, and they treat you like in the office, and if your mother-in-law doesn't like you, they could really make things difficult with you here, because this is a certain energy, and certain is already about discipline, about morals, about punishment and stuff like that. So this mother-in-law expects you to be well behaved, to follow the traditions of the house, of the family, to be giving towards the family. Like if you give them money, they would be really happy because the Capricorn energy really loves material things, okay? And they would like it if you were a hard worker, okay? So if you appear to be lazy, your mother-in-law doesn't like you and doesn't approve of you, okay? So you would have a problem, okay, with this energy. And this mother-in-law likes people who are hard workers, who are disciplined, who follow the rules, who don't challenge the rules. And like your mother-in-law wants you to know that she's the boss. She is the boss, and you must know. You get, you must know and accept that she's the boss. You must say it. All right. Yeah, as I said, they're not emotional beings because this is a certain energy again. So just present your stories in a matured way. Present yourself in a matured way, and everything will be good. And your mother-in-law here is not afraid to uh, literally create barriers for you, literally create limitations for you. And they could even like be physically in your house, making your freedom in your house very restricted, okay? So if you have your 10th house in Aquarius, your mother-in-law is very unique. Like your mother-in-law is a bit strange, eh? Like your mother-in-law is like weird. So that's how we can describe your mother-in-law. Like they do their own thing. They don't care about um, your opinion, really. They will just continue to do their thing. And you know what? Because just like Sagittarius, this is about freedom. This energy here. So here, your mother-in-law could not even like visit you for many years. You don't even like connect that much because they busy, doing their projects, their charity things. They busy with their own objective, and they don't want to intrude in your life. They don't care to intrude in your life, okay? So Saturn here becomes very different, becomes a really relaxed. um and if you want to connect with your mother-in-law, maybe you could have a project together, like for charity or for social welfare and stuff like that, and your mother-in-law would be available. But really, your mother-in-law here is distant, like literally very distant, because they busy with their own life and they don't really care to get involved in your life or in their child's life in that intrusive manner, that Capricorn energy would do. This is where Saturn becomes relaxed here, okay? And they would appreciate, of course, if you were to have your own projects, like uh, obviously not be like somebody sitting at home, like have your own projects, be a go-getter and innovator. Then this mother-in-law would really approve of you if you want that approval. And okay, now your 10th house is in Pisces. Well, your mother-in-law is very very emotional, but at the same time very confusing, okay? They are always changing their opinion, okay? Your mother-in-law really likes to change her opinion a lot. Like on one subject, they could change their opinion 10 times within a week, and you just like so confused as well as to what's really their opinion on the topic. Okay, your mother-in-law could also be a very spiritual person, maybe who's in touch with their spirituality. Okay, your mother-in-law definitely creative individual. They could even be like having dreams that are so vivid, and they would tell you about it and be like, you know what, I dreamt you did this, you were wearing this dress, da da da. They are Jupiter here really like becomes spiritual. Okay, not in a religious way like it does with the Sagittarius energy, but here it becomes spiritual. It becomes like it just goes to the other world. Right? So your mother-in-law could also be very hard to reach in terms of understanding, because they would feel like you would feel like they are just on another world. They're not on the same planet with you, except if you have a strong Pisces energy. Okay. But in terms of problems, wow, this is not a mother-in-law that could get you that could give you problems unless they have addiction problems. Yeah, for sure. Then they would be coming to your house or to your spouse, asking for money to feed their addiction and stuff, like, or being unreliable. Yeah, that's another problem. They would be unreliable. Maybe they agree to look after the kids this weekend, and then they're not available, or they change their mind. Okay, so that's the story here with his mother-in-law. Now the final word is that this is your first mother-in-law. Okay, to count to your second mother-in-law, you would count 8 spaces. Okay, and then that would be the definition of your mother-in-law, because why? The relationships die at the eighth house. Okay, and the new one gets born. So that's how you do for your third mother-in-law. You just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 8, and then you see your new mother-in-law. All right. So guys, thanks so much for your time, and I'll chat to you soon.